Imagine standing outside a government building, wearing a security guard's uniform, watching world leaders, diplomats, and dignitaries pass by, you speaking languages you barely understand, living lives you've only seen in movies. Now, imagine one day, you walk through those same doors not as a guard, but as one of them. This is the true story of a man who went from standing watch outside embassies to speaking inside them, from guarding power to becoming it. Our story begins in the heart of West Africa, in the bustling city of Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. A young man named Ibrahima Niane had a dream, a big one. He wanted more for himself, for his family, but in his neighborhood, dreams were luxuries, often postponed, sometimes abandoned, because life didn't wait. Bills needed paying, family needed feeding. So Ibrahima did what many do when the world won't open its doors. He put on a uniform and got to work as a security guard. Every day, he stood in the shadows of diplomacy outside the gates of the French embassy, watching important people arrive in sleek cars, listening to conversations in languages he barely understood: French, Arabic, Mandarin, even Russian. They wore suits, they carried passports with power, and Ibrahima, he didn't even finish college, but he stood tall, he watched, he listened, and he learned. Day after day, year after year, bitter, broken, just patient, focused, determined, because even if the world didn't see him yet, he saw something greater in himself. This is not just the story of where he started, it's the story of where he refused to stay. He couldn't afford a tutor, he didn't have connections, no scholarship, no formal classes, but he had something else, an unshakable belief that knowledge could be his passport. So he did something most people wouldn't even consider. He became his own teacher. One by one, he tackled languages the way others might tackle survival. French, his country's official language, but not his first. Arabic, because so many diplomats spoke it. English, because it was the language of opportunity. Spanish, Portuguese, even Mandarin. Yes, Mandarin. No textbooks, no instructors, just grit and resourcefulness. He downloaded free PDFs off the internet. He scoured YouTube for pronunciation videos. He scribbled vocabulary in old notebooks. He listened closely when diplomats passed by. Then, he'd memorize what they said, go home, and look up every single word. He studied on lunch breaks, with the sandwich in one hand and flashcards in the other. He studied during long night shifts, when the world was asleep, but his dream wasn't. Sometimes, he'd even practice phrases out loud in the guard booth quietly, when no one was watching. Some colleagues laughed. Why waste your time? They scoffed. You're just a security guard. But Ibrahima knew something they didn't. He wasn't just learning how to speak, he was learning how to rise. Every phrase was a brick, every sentence a step. He wasn't just building vocabulary. He was building a future. Because for Ibrahima, language wasn't just about communication. It was about transformation. And deep down, he knew. He wasn't memorizing words. He was unlocking worlds. One day, something unexpected happened. A diplomat someone Ibrahima had seen 100 times stopped to make small talk. He asked a question in French. Ibrahima answered fluently. Then, he switched to English, clear, confident. Then, with a grin, he added a line in Spanish just for fun. The diplomat paused, surprised, impressed. Where did you study? He asked. Ibrahima smiled. Right here. That one moment, just a few words exchanged at the gate, changed everything. The diplomat couldn't stop thinking about him. A few calls were made. Soon, Ibrahima's name landed on the desk of a prestigious language institute. And a few months later, he was offered something he'd never had before, a scholarship. He grabbed the opportunity with both hands. He passed every exam, graduated with distinction, then went further, earning another degree, and then another. No more studying in the shadows, no more hiding his ambition. Before long, he wasn't just near the embassies, he was in them, Ibrahima had gone from standing outside the gates to walking confidently through the front doors, from a security guard to a voice for his country, proof that one conversation, one moment can open a door you've been standing outside your whole life. Today, Ibrahima Niane stands where few ever imagined he would. He represents his country on global stages, negotiating trade deals, shaping policy, even speaking at the United Nations. He's fluent in 6 languages, but what truly sets him apart? He's fluent in resilience, in perseverance, in the unshakable belief that your starting point doesn't define your destination. He still keeps his old uniform, the one he wore as a security guard, not as a symbol of struggle, but as a reminder that dreams don't expire, that doors do open, and that with discipline, grit, and faith, even the man guarding the gate can one day walk through it as a leader. We live in a world that loves straight lines, clear titles, neat boxes, predictable paths. You're born here, so you belong here. You work this job, so that's who you are. Of story. But every now and then, someone rewrites the script. Ibrahima Niane was one of those people. His story reminds us of something powerful. You don't need a classroom to learn. You don't need permission to grow. And you definitely don't need to stay where life first puts you. Whether you're sweeping floors, guarding doors, serving coffee, or stacking boxes, your present circumstances do not limit your future potential, because knowledge is everywhere, discipline is free, and belief, that's something no one can give you, but no one can take away either. So the next time someone tells you it's too late, too hard, too unrealistic, tell them about the security guard who taught himself 6 languages, the man who stood outside the gates of power and one day walked through them as a diplomat, not because someone opened the door for him, but because he built the key himself.